Alright, first of all we're going to remove the 4 screws that hold the AFC cover in place. Then we're going to remove the cover along with the fuel pin and washer. Then we're going to look into the chamber, move the lever to the full throttle position, and we should see the pin pop out into the bore. If the pin doesn't move, then the cover will have to be completely dismantled. You're going to remove the 17mm bolt on your return fuel line. You're going to take a 13mm wrench and back out your maximum fuel screw. Make a measurement before you back the screw out so you can set it back in a proper location. Back it out till you can see the O-ring. And you're going to take a 18mm Allen key and remove the nut that holds your throttle lever in place. It's a 2-piece lever. You move this washer, there's a line in the middle of your throttle shaft that should correlate with the second line on your throttle linkage right here. There's marks on your throttle linkage. The line in the throttle shaft should line up with the second mark on your lever. Just loosen your spring off. Remove your throttle lever, your top spacer, and your bottom spacer and your spring. And then you need a 5mm ball head Allen screw. Okay, remove all 4 Allen head screws that hold the cover in place. Wiggle the cover to lift it up. This back screw, you're going to have to lift the cover before you can back it all the way out. As you lift it up, push your throttle shaft down. That is the cover removed. Now you're going to take your new governor spring, remove it from the throttle shaft, install the new spring, remove the spring from your governor, put your idle spring assembly back in place, and there you have it. Replace the new O-ring that comes in the kit on your on the shaft, and reassemble the cover. Put some oil on the O-ring. Put your cover back in place. That's your Allen head screws. Install your lower spring seat with the spring. Make sure your spring is up against the seat, down over your throttle shaft, and behind the location on the housing. Install your upper spring seat. And install your throttle lever, lining up the second line on the lever with the line in the middle of the throttle shaft. Install your plastic spacer washer, your lock washer, your upper throttle shaft, so the peg goes in between the spring, and tighten your nut down with an 8mm Allen key. And you use a wire or whatever, a wire works the best to relocate your spring again. just pull your spring around under the throttle lever, hook it back. Then you're going to reassemble the top part of the pump with the fuel pin. You're going to need two 10mm wrenches. Loosen the nut. Remove your fuel pin. Install the new fuel pin, your diaphragm, your upper washer, little spring washer, and the new nut. Tighten the nut. Install your new spacer washer on your fuel pin. Your spring. Make sure that you push your pin back into the housing so you can install the fuel pin in the proper location. Put your fuel pin back. Install your AF or your fuel pin. Reinstall your cover along with your 4 screws. After the cover is installed, and you're going to set your maximum fuel screw back to where you had measured it. Tighten the lock nut with a 13mm wrench. Install your return line with the 17mm bolt. Install your throttle linkage onto the pump. Happy motoring.